There is a truth that lies dormant within each of us, a truth that we often overlook in the chaos of our thoughts, in the turbulence of our emotions, and in the constant noise of the world around us. It is the truth of who we truly are. We are not separate from the source of our being. We are the very expression of it. We are not bound by the limitations of our past, our pain, or our circumstances. We are bound only by the beliefs we hold, the stories we tell ourselves, and the illusions we allow to define us. We often live as though we are disconnected, separate from one another, separate from the universe, separate from the divine essence that breathes life into every living thing. We believe that we are isolated beings, struggling to find meaning and purpose in a world that seems both vast and indifferent. But this is the illusion of the ego, the false sense of self that clouds our vision and keeps us in the dark about our true nature. The reality is that we are never separate. We are never alone. We are part of a vast interconnected web of existence, each of us a unique expression of the one divine consciousness that flows through all things. When we begin to understand this, when we begin to feel this deep knowing in the core of our being, we can no longer pretend to be separate. We can no longer cling to the illusion of isolation. We can no longer hold on to the false stories of separation that keep us small and afraid. You are the expression, not the separation. The moment we recognize that we are part of the whole, that we are not separate from the universe, but a living, breathing manifestation of it, everything changes. The world no longer feels like an enemy to conquer. The struggles no longer feel like obstacles to overcome. We see the world not as something outside of us, but as a mirror that reflects our own inner state. The universe is not something to fight against. It is something to embrace. There is no need to resist the flow of life, because life is not something that happens to us. Life is what we are. It is the very essence of our being, the force that animates us, the intelligence that guides us. When we let go of the belief in separation, we begin to trust the flow of life. We surrender to it, knowing that it is taking us exactly where we need to go. We stop fighting against the current, and instead, we flow with it. We move with the rhythm of the universe, knowing that it is always in perfect harmony, even when we cannot see it. This is where true freedom lies, not in the pursuit of independence, but in the realization that we are part of a greater whole. It is an understanding that we are not separate from each other, from nature, or from the divine energy that sustains all things. When we release the belief in separation, we begin to experience the freedom that comes from knowing that we are interconnected with everything around us. We are never alone, never abandoned, never truly apart. So often, we cling to the idea of being individuals, of carving out our own path, of creating our own identity. And while there is nothing wrong with being an individual, the belief that we are separate from others is the root of all suffering. The ego thrives on this illusion. The ego wants to convince us that we are alone, that we must fight for our survival, that we must protect ourselves from the world. It tells us that we are separate from others, separate from nature, and separate from the divine. And in doing so, it keeps us trapped in a cycle of fear, scarcity, and struggle. But the truth is that you are not the ego. You are not the separation. You are the expression of divine intelligence, the manifestation of the creative force that flows through the universe. You are not here by accident. You are here on purpose to express the unique qualities of the divine that only you can bring into the world. Your life is not a random series of events. It is the unfolding of a divine plan, a plan that you are a vital part of. This realization can be transformative. It is the key to unlocking your true potential. When you let go of the belief in separation, you no longer see yourself as an isolated individual struggling to survive. You see yourself as an integral part of the whole, as a vessel through which divine energy flows. You understand that your life is not just your own, but is connected to all life. Your actions, your thoughts, your choices have an impact on the world around you. And when you realize this, You begin to live with purpose, with intention, with a deep sense of responsibility and connection. You are the expression, not the separation. There is a deep peace that comes from this understanding, a peace that transcends the chaos of the world and the turmoil of the mind. When you know that you are not separate, you are no longer afraid of what happens to you. You no longer fear the future because you trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should. You no longer cling to the past because you understand that it is a part of your journey, not the destination. You no longer struggle against the present because you know that this moment is all you need. And in this peace, you find your power. You find the courage to step into your true self, to express the fullness of who you are without fear, without hesitation, without limitation. You realize that you do not need to fight for your place in the world. You are already where you need to be. You are already whole. You are already enough. In every moment, you are the expression of the divine. You are the creative force manifesting through your thoughts, your actions, your words, your being. You are not separate from the world. You are the world. You are not separate from the divine. You are the divine. And when you understand this, you no longer seek to control life. You allow life to unfold naturally, effortlessly, and with grace. The moment you release the illusion of separation, you begin to live in harmony with the universe. You align yourself with the flow of life, and you trust that it will take you exactly where you need to go. You stop trying to force things to happen and instead allow them to unfold in their own time and in their own way. You become a co-creator with the universe, a partner in the divine dance of existence. So, let go of the belief in separation. Let go of the stories that keep you trapped in the illusion of isolation. Let go of the fear that holds you back, and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Know that you are part of something much greater than yourself, and that everything is unfolding in perfect harmony. You are the expression, not the separation. And when you embrace this truth, you will live a life of limitless possibility, peace, and fulfillment. When you awaken to the truth that you are not separate from the divine, the very nature of your existence begins to shift. You stop seeing yourself as a mere observer of life, and instead, you see yourself as an active participant in the great unfolding of the universe. You are no longer a spectator of your own destiny. You are the creator of it. Think for a moment about the vastness of the universe, about the stars that twinkle in the sky and the oceans that stretch to the horizon. These are not separate from you. They are part of the same divine energy that flows through your being. The same intelligence that orchestrates the movement of the stars also flows through you, guiding you, supporting you, and helping you to realize your full potential. When you recognize this, you no longer feel small, insignificant, or alone. You understand that you are part of the same cosmic symphony, playing your unique role in the grand design. But so often, we allow the distractions of life to cloud this understanding. We allow our fears, doubts, and insecurities to tell us otherwise. The world tells us that we must compete, that we must separate ourselves from others in order to survive. We are taught to see ourselves as individuals, disconnected from the world, fighting for our share of the pie. But this is the lie of the ego, the false identity that convinces us that we are isolated, separate, and in need of constant protection. The ego thrives on fear and separation. It tells you that you must protect yourself, that you must guard your heart, that you must compete for love, success, and happiness. It teaches you that there is not enough to go around, that life is a struggle, and that you must fight for what you want. But these are not the truths of the soul. These are the lies that the ego tells you in order to keep you trapped in a cycle of fear and scarcity. The truth is that there is no scarcity. There is only abundance. And that abundance is not something that comes from the outside, it comes from within. It is the divine energy that flows through you, and it is always available to you. When you recognize that you are the expression, not the separation, you begin to tap into that abundant source of power, love, and wisdom that exists within you. You realize that you do not need to fight for what is already yours. As you step into this knowing, you begin to live with a sense of ease, of grace, and of flow. You no longer feel the need to force things to happen. You trust that life will unfold as it should, and you allow it to. You begin to see the synchronicities that guide you, the signs that point you in the right direction. You no longer doubt your path because you understand that it is the path that the universe has set before you. There is power in surrender. Surrender is not weakness, it is strength. It is the strength to trust in the wisdom of the universe, to trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should. Surrender is the ability to let go of the need to control and instead to allow the flow of life to guide you. When you surrender, you are no longer fighting against the current of existence. You are flowing with it. You are aligned with the divine, and you are at peace. This does not mean that you become passive or inactive. On the contrary, when you surrender, you become more active than ever before, but your actions are no longer driven by fear, ego, or the need to control. Your actions are guided by love, by wisdom, and by the deep knowing that you are part of something much greater than yourself. You are the expression, not the separation. You are not a small, insignificant being lost in the chaos of the world. You are the divine in action, the creative force of the universe expressing itself through you. And when you understand this, your life becomes a work of art, a masterpiece that you create with each thought, each word, and each action. As you move through life with this awareness, you begin to experience miracles. These miracles are not the result of effort or struggle. They are the natural outcome of living in alignment with the divine. When you stop resisting life and start flowing with it, the universe begins to conspire in your favor. Things that once seemed impossible become possible. Opportunities that you once thought were out of reach suddenly appear. Relationships that were once strained or broken are healed. This is the power of alignment, the power of knowing that you are one with the universe and that everything you need is already within you. The beauty of life lies not in achieving success, but in the realization that success is not something you need to strive for, it is something that you are. Success is not about external achievements or the accumulation of material wealth. True success is about aligning with your soul's purpose, living with integrity, and expressing your divine essence in the world. When you do this, the world responds in kind. The universe mirrors your alignment, and success flows to you effortlessly. As you release the illusion of separation, you begin to see that all of life is connected. You are not separate from the people around you. You are not separate from nature. You are not separate from the divine. Everything is interconnected, and every action you take, every thought you think, and every word you speak ripples out into the world, affecting everything in its path. This is the law of cause and effect. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, every choice you make sends out a vibration into the universe. That vibration comes back to you in the form of your experiences. When you align your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with the truth of your divine nature, you begin to experience a life that reflects that truth. You attract abundance, love, and joy, not because you are seeking them, but because they are the natural expression of who you are. You are the expression, not the separation. And when you embrace this truth, you begin to live a life of purpose, of peace, and of unlimited potential. The fear that once held you back dissolves, and in its place, there is only love. The love that flows from the divine, the love that connects all things, the love that is your true nature. So, take a deep breath and remember who you are. You are not separate from life. You are life. You are not separate from love. You are love. You are not separate from the divine. You are the divine in action. And when you live from this truth, there is nothing that can stand in your way. You are free. You are powerful. You are limitless. Embrace the truth that you are the expression, not the separation. And in doing so, You will experience the peace, the love, and the freedom that comes from living in alignment with your true self. When you truly grasp that you are the expression, not the separation, you realize that everything you've ever sought has already been within you. There is no destination, no final place you must reach, no long road to travel. The journey is not outside of you. The journey is within. It has always been within. All of your desires, all of your dreams, all of your aspirations, they are not far off in the distance, waiting to be earned or won. They are the natural unfolding of your true essence, already within you, already alive, already waiting to be expressed. But so often, we place our dreams on a pedestal outside of ourselves, imagining that we must do something extraordinary or achieve some grand thing in order to attain them. This belief in separation, this sense of needing to fight, to chase, to prove ourselves, is what keeps us from realizing the truth. The truth is that you are already enough. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to become someone else, someone better, someone more deserving. You are deserving right now as you are. You are the living expression of divine love, of the intelligence of the universe, and of the infinite possibility that flows through every living thing. When you understand this, when you feel it deep in your bones, everything shifts. The pressure you've placed on yourself to succeed, to become, to reach the top, begins to dissolve. You no longer feel the need to chase anything. You are no longer running. You are simply being. You are being the highest expression of yourself in every moment. This is the truth of who you are. The world does not need you to be anyone other than who you are. You are perfect in your imperfection. You are divine in your humanity. You are whole, complete, and full of infinite potential. And when you recognize this, your life becomes a reflection of this truth. And yet, despite this inherent truth, we often live as if we are still searching, still lacking, still incomplete. We allow the ego to convince us that we must keep striving, that we must keep pushing, that we must keep seeking outside of ourselves for the things we need to feel fulfilled. But fulfillment is never found outside of you. It is always within you, and the moment you stop looking for it, the moment you stop searching, is the moment it appears. The great paradox of life is that the more we seek, the more we struggle, the further we drift from what we desire. But when we surrender the need for external validation, when we release the fear of not being enough, the fulfillment we have been searching for comes to us effortlessly. This is the gift of realizing that we are the expression, not the separation. This understanding is the key to unlocking the peace that resides within you. It is the peace that comes from knowing that you are already whole, you are already complete, you are already enough. There is nothing more that you need to do, nothing more that you need to prove. You are the very expression of divine energy, and all that is required of you is to allow that energy to flow freely, to be expressed through your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your very being. You are the expression, not the separation. You are not separate from the divine. You are the divine in form. This is not a metaphor. This is not an abstract idea. This is the truth of your being. You are an embodiment of the creative force that has brought the universe into existence. You are the breath of life, the pulse of creation, the spark of divine intelligence. And when you remember this, when you truly internalize this truth, you can no longer live in fear, in doubt, or in limitation. The ego cannot hold you in its grasp when you realize that it is not you. The ego is the voice of separation, the voice that tells you that you are less than, that you are not worthy, that you must fight and struggle to find your place in the world. But the ego is not who you are. You are the soul, the eternal, divine essence that transcends the ego and all of its illusions. When you awaken to this truth, you transcend the limitations of the ego. You stop identifying with its stories and its fears. You stop allowing its voice to define your worth. You are not the thoughts that arise in your mind. You are not the emotions that pass through your body. You are the stillness behind those thoughts and emotions. You are the awareness that observes them. And when you identify with this awareness, when you see yourself as the observer, you no longer react to life from a place of fear. You respond from a place of wisdom, compassion, and love. You begin to understand that life is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Everything that occurs in your life is a reflection of the energy you are radiating into the world. If you wish to change your experience, you must first change your internal state. When you shift your thoughts, you shift your reality. When you release the belief in separation, you align yourself with the truth of your divine essence, and the world begins to reflect that truth back to you. The moment you let go of the need to control, the moment you surrender to the flow of life, you enter into a state of peace and power that cannot be shaken. You realize that you are not a passive observer in the grand scheme of things. You are an active participant, a co-creator with the universe, shaping your reality through your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions. You are the expression of divine energy, and everything you need is already within you. When you let go of the illusion of separation, you begin to see the interconnectedness of all things. You see that everything in the universe is bound together by the same energy, the same intelligence, the same love. There is no us and them. There is only we. And when you realize this, your relationships with others change. You no longer see them as separate beings, struggling to find their way. You see them as reflections of yourself, each one a unique expression of the same divine source. In this awareness, you find deep compassion and love for yourself and for others. You no longer judge or criticize. You no longer hold on to resentment, anger, or blame. You understand that we are all on a journey, all seeking to remember the truth of who we are. And in this understanding, you find freedom, the freedom to be yourself, to express yourself, and to live a life of love, peace, and fulfillment. You are the expression, not the separation. You are the living, breathing manifestation of the divine. You are not alone. You are not separate. You are one with the universe, one with all of creation, and you are enough. This is the truth that will set you free. When you embrace it, when you live from it, you will experience a life of endless possibility, love, and joy. You will become a radiant expression of the divine, a beacon of light in a world that so desperately needs it. So, let go of the fear, let go of the doubt, let go of the belief in separation, and step into the truth of who you really are, the expression of divine love, the embodiment of infinite potential. You are not separate from life, you are life. And when you live from this truth, you will experience the fullness of all that you are. You see, the path to inner freedom does not lie in the seeking, in the striving, or in the endless chasing. The path to inner freedom is found when we stop running and start resting in the truth of who we are. It is found when we stop trying to control the currents of life and instead surrender to the flow. It is found when we cease to define ourselves by the stories of lack and limitation and instead remember the truth of abundance and infinite potential. There is a quiet power that emerges when we stop searching for validation outside of ourselves. A deep, unwavering strength that arises from knowing we are enough. Not because we've earned it, not because we've accomplished something monumental, but simply because we exist. Simply because we are expressions of the divine, co-creators of the life we live, capable of birthing new worlds with each thought, each choice, each action we take. You are the expression, not the separation. You were never separate, never apart. From the moment you took your first breath, you were connected to the vast, infinite source of life. You were connected to the universe in its totality. The stars that you look upon at night, they are within you. The earth beneath your feet, its very essence is your essence. The winds that whisper through the trees are the same winds that carry your breath. The moment you acknowledge this truly, deeply, and without doubt, something shifts within you. It is as if a veil is lifted, and what was once hidden is now revealed. You see the world with new eyes, and the world sees you for who you truly are. No longer bound by the chains of the ego, you are free to live in alignment with the divine. You are no longer the fractured pieces of a puzzle trying desperately to fit together. You are the whole. You are the one. You are the breath of life, unfolding as it was always meant to. In this realization, there is an overwhelming peace that washes over you. It is the peace of knowing that you are part of something far greater than yourself. The peace of knowing that the worries and struggles of the ego are nothing more than fleeting illusions. It is the peace of surrender, the peace that comes when you release your grip on the outcome and allow life to unfold in its own time and in its own way. The soul has no need to struggle. It has no need to strive. It is already whole, already perfect, already free. And when you embrace this truth, when you allow the soul to guide you, you step into a state of being that cannot be shaken. You move through the world with grace, with ease, and with a profound sense of inner knowing that all is well. In this state of peace, you are no longer concerned with what others think of you. You no longer seek external validation because you know that the only validation that matters comes from within. You are not defined by your possessions, your titles, or your achievements. You are defined by the very essence of your being, the divine spark that lives within you, the infinite potential that flows through you. You are not here to prove your worth. You are here to express your truth, to live authentically, and to shine your light into the world. When you let go of the illusion of separation, you begin to experience a profound sense of interconnectedness. You see that the joy, love, and peace you seek are not somewhere out there. They are within you, waiting to be uncovered. And as you uncover them, you begin to radiate them outward. You become a beacon of light, a source of healing and transformation for those around you. You no longer need to search for love, for peace, or for fulfillment. You become a magnet for these things, attracting them effortlessly because they are a reflection of your inner state. In every moment, you are the expression of divine love. You are the embodiment of peace. You are the living testament to the truth that there is no separation between you and the divine, between you and the universe. There is no us and them. There is only we, a vast interconnected web of life, each of us a unique expression of the one divine consciousness that binds us all together. And as you move through this world living in alignment with your true self, you begin to understand that you are not here to prove anything. You are here to be, to express, to experience the fullness of life in its myriad forms. You are not here to chase after success or happiness. You are here to live in the awareness that success and happiness are already within you, already yours, just waiting to be recognized. When you recognize this, you no longer seek external validation. You no longer need the approval of others. You no longer need to prove your worth because you know that your worth is inherent. It is not something you must earn. It is something you were born with. It is your birthright. You are the divine in human form, and nothing, no one, and no situation can ever take that from you. So let go. Let go of the need to control, the need to separate, the need to prove. Let go of the belief that you are anything less than divine. Let go of the stories that keep you trapped in fear and doubt. Let go of the fear of not being enough, of not having enough, of not doing enough. You are enough. You have always been enough. You are the expression, not the separation. Feel this truth in the depths of your being. Let it resonate within you. Let it echo through your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And as it does, you will begin to live a life of unparalleled peace, power, and freedom. You will live a life that is not defined by external circumstances, but by the unshakable truth of who you are, the divine, eternal expression of love and light. And in this knowing, in this profound understanding, you will find your home. Not in some distant future, not in some external achievement, but right here, right now, you are home. You are whole. You are free. You are the expression not the separation. And in that truth, you are finally free to be who you were always meant to be.
In this world of ours, we often feel powerless, victims of circumstance and fate. But I tell you now, this is the greatest illusion of all. For within you resides the power to create, to manifest, to bring forth your deepest desires into tangible reality. This power is not something to be earned or acquired, but a gift bestowed upon you by the very nature of your existence. Consider for a moment the vast universe that surrounds us, the infinite stars, the boundless galaxies, the intricate dance of planets and celestial bodies. All of this, every atom and particle, is but an expression of the divine imagination. And you, my dear friends, are cut from the same cloth, your imagination incarnate a living, breathing expression of God's creative power. Now, you may ask, if I possess such power, why does my life not reflect my desires? The answer, my friends, is simple yet profound. You have been using this power unconsciously, unaware of its true nature and potential. Your current circumstances, be they joyous or challenging, are but the fruits of your past imaginings. To harness this God-gifted power, we must first understand its nature. It is not something external to be grasped or manipulated, but an internal state to be realized and embodied. This power responds not to your conscious wishes or fleeting desires, but to the deepest convictions of your heart and mind. Imagine, if you will, a seed planted in fertile soil. This seed contains within it the blueprint of a mighty oak tree. It does not struggle or strain to become a tree. It simply unfolds according to its nature, drawing nourishment from its environment. In the same way, your desires contain within them the seeds of their own fulfillment. Your task is not to force them into being, but to provide the fertile soil of your consciousness for them to take root and flourish. The first step in this process is to cultivate awareness. Become acutely conscious of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, for these are the building blocks of your reality. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold is a seed planted in the garden of your life. What harvest are you currently reaping? As you become aware of your inner world, you may discover thoughts and beliefs that do not serve your highest good. Limiting beliefs, self-doubt, fear, these are the weeds that choke the light from your desires. But do not despair, for just as you have the power to create, you have the power to transform. The next step is to harness the power of your imagination. For imagination is the language of the divine, the very substance of creation. When you imagine, you are not engaging in mere fantasy or daydreaming. You are in fact shaping the very fabric of your reality. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your ideal life. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your ideal life. See it in vivid detail. Feel the emotions associated with living that life. Hear the sounds, smell the scents, taste the flavors of your desire and reality. As you do this, you are not merely visualizing, you are experiencing your desire in the realm of imagination, which is the womb of physical manifestation. But imagination alone is not enough. For your imaginal acts to bear fruit in the physical world, they must be coupled with unwavering faith. Faith, my friends, is not blind belief in the unseen. It is the conviction of the reality of the imagined state. When you have true faith, you do not hope for your desire to manifest. You know with absolute certainty that it is already yours. This knowing, this unshakable faith, is the key that unlocks the door to your desired reality. For you see, in the realm of the divine, there is no past, present, or future. All exists in an eternal now. Therefore, when you imagine your desire fulfilled and feel the reality of it, with every fiber of your being, you are in that moment, experiencing it as an accomplished fact. The power of this realization cannot be overstated, for when you truly understand and embody this truth, you cease to strive and struggle. You no longer feel the need to manipulate external circumstances or control others to achieve your goals. Instead, you rest in the calm assurance that your desire is already yours. and that the outer world must conform to this inner knowing. This, my dear friends, is the state of living from the end. It is a state where you no longer pray to a distant God for your desires to be fulfilled, but instead you pray from the consciousness of the wish fulfilled. You give thanks not for what you hope to receive, but for what you know you already possess. Living from the end requires a fundamental shift in consciousness. It calls for you to abandon your old identity, your old story, and step fully into the version of yourself that has already achieved your desire. This is not pretense or make-believe. It is a recognition of your true nature as a divine being capable of shaping reality through the power of consciousness. As you embrace this new state of being, you may find that the outer world seems slow to catch up. This is where patience and persistence come into play. Remember, just as a seed takes time to sprout and grow into a mighty tree, your imaginal acts need time to bear fruit in the physical realm. During this period of gestation, it is crucial to maintain your faith. Do not waver in your conviction, no matter what your physical senses may tell you, for the outer world is but a shadow, a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. Your task is to hold steadfast to your new state of consciousness, knowing that the outer must inevitably conform to the inner. This process of manifestation is not about forcing change or manipulating circumstances. It is about aligning yourself with the natural flow of divine creation. Just as a river does not struggle to reach the ocean, but flows effortlessly along the path of least resistance, your desires will manifest with ease and grace when you align yourself with the divine flow. To maintain this alignment, it is essential to cultivate a sense of gratitude. Gratitude is not merely a polite sentiment, but a powerful creative force. When you are truly grateful, you are acknowledging the presence of your desire in your life. You are affirming its reality even before it manifests in the physical realm. Practice gratitude not just for what you can see and touch, but for the unseen blessings that are even now unfolding in your life. Give thanks for the wisdom that guides you, the love that surrounds you, and the power that resides within you. As you do this, you open yourself to receive even greater blessings. Another crucial aspect of harnessing your God-gifted power is to release attachment to outcomes. This may seem counterintuitive, for how can you manifest your desires if you are not attached to them? But attachment, my friends, is born of fear and lack. It is a subtle affirmation that you do not yet possess what you desire. Instead, cultivate a state of allowing trust in the wisdom of the divine to bring your desires to fruition in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Your job is not to orchestrate the how and when of manifestation, but to hold the energy of your desire with unwavering faith and joyful expectation. As you practice these principles, you may find that your desires begin to shift and evolve. This is natural and to be welcomed. For as you align yourself more fully with your divine nature, your desires will naturally align with your highest good and the highest good of all. Do not be afraid to dream big, to desire greatly. The power within you is infinite, capable of manifesting realities beyond your wildest imaginings. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. As you tap into this divine creative force, use it wisely and with love. For you see, this power is not given to you for selfish gain or to dominate others. It is bestowed upon you as a sacred trust to be used in service of the greater good. As you manifest your desires, consider how your fulfilled wishes can bring light, love and joy not just to yourself, but to all those around you. Imagine a world where every individual recognizes and harnesses this God-gifted power. A world where each person lives from a state of abundance, love, and joy. This, my friends, is not a utopian fantasy, but the very reality we are called to create. As you step into this new understanding of your divine nature and creative power, you may encounter resistance, both from within yourself and from the world around you. This is to be expected. For centuries, we have been conditioned to believe in our limitations, to see ourselves as separate from the divine and powerless to shape our reality. But I tell you now, these beliefs are nothing more than illusions, shadows cast by the light of truth. They have no power over you unless you give them power through your belief. When you encounter such resistance, do not fight against it. Instead, observe it with detachment, recognizing it for what it is, the last gasp of an old paradigm that no longer serves you. Remember, what you resist persists. By fighting against limiting beliefs or challenging circumstances, you are inadvertently giving them power and prolonging their existence in your reality. Instead, turn your attention fully to the new state you wish to embody. Feed it with your faith, nurture it with your imagination, and watch as it grows stronger, eventually displacing the old. This process of transformation is not always easy or comfortable. It requires courage to let go of the familiar, even when the familiar no longer serves you. It demands faith to step into the unknown, trusting in the unseen. But I assure you the rewards are beyond measure. As you begin to live from this new state of consciousness, you may find that your entire perception of the world shifts. What once seemed impossible becomes probable. What was once a struggle becomes effortless. You begin to see the hand of the divine in every aspect of your life, guiding you, supporting you, conspiring in your favor. This shift in perception is not just a pleasant side effect of manifesting your desires. It is, in fact, the very key to sustained success and fulfillment. For when you see the world through the eyes of the divine, you recognize the inherent abundance and perfection of all that is. You cease to operate from a place of lack of fear and instead move through life with grace and ease. In this state of divine perception, synchronicities abound. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, encountering the perfect opportunities. This is not mere coincidence, but the natural result of aligning yourself with the flow of divine creation. As you continue to practice living from the end, imagining your desires fulfilled and embodying the consciousness of your ideal self, you may find that the very nature of your desires evolves. What once seemed important may fall away, replaced by deeper, more meaningful aspirations. This, too, is part of the journey. For as you align more fully with your divine nature, your desires naturally come into harmony with your highest good and the highest good of all. You begin to desire not just for yourself, but for the betterment of all humanity. Imagine, if you will, a world where every individual recognizes and admits this God-gifted power, a world where each person lives from a state of abundance, love, and joy, where competition gives way to cooperation, where fear is replaced by faith, and where lack is transformed into plenty. This, my dear friends, is not a utopian fantasy, but the very reality we are called to create. And it begins with you here and now, recognizing and claiming your divine nature and creative power. As you step into this new understanding, you become a beacon of light in the world. Your very presence becomes a testament to the transformative power of living in alignment with divine truth. Others will be drawn to your light, curious about the source of your peace, your joy, your unwavering faith. And here lies your greatest opportunity for service. For as you share your understanding, as you demonstrate through your own life the reality of these principles, you become a catalyst for global transformation. You become an instrument of divine will, playing your unique part in the grand symphony of creation. But remember, dear ones, this is not about proselytizing or forcing your beliefs upon others. It is about living your truth so fully, so joyfully that others cannot help but take notice. It is about being a living example of the power of imagination, faith, and divine alignment. As you continue on this path, you may encounter moments of doubt or uncertainty. This is natural and to be expected, for you are navigating uncharted waters, breaking free from the limitations of conventional thinking and stepping into the boundless realm of divine possibility. In these moments, return to the basics. Remind yourself of your true nature as an expression of the divine. Reconnect with the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Reaffirm your faith in the unseen reality that is even now taking shape in your life. And above all, be patient and kind with yourself. This journey of awakening and manifestation is not a destination to be reached, but a continuous unfolding. Each day brings new opportunities for growth, for deepening your understanding, for expanding your capacity to receive and express divine love and creativity. Remember, the power you are learning to harness is not something external to be acquired or achieved. It is your very essence, the core of your being. You are not becoming something you are not. You are simply remembering who you truly are. As you embrace this truth, you may find that your entire approach to life shifts. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles to be overcome, you recognize them as opportunities for growth and expansion. Instead of fearing change, you welcome it as a sign of your evolving consciousness. You begin to see every experience, every interaction, every moment as a gift, a precious opportunity to express and experience your divine nature. Even seeming setbacks or disappointments are recognized as stepping stones, guiding you towards greater alignment with your true self and your highest good. In this state of divine awareness, you no longer need to seek happiness or fulfillment from external sources. You recognize that true joy lasts in peace and boundless love arises from within, from your connection to the divine source of all being. This inner wellspring of joy becomes the foundation of your life, informing every thought, word, and action. You no longer act from a place of need or lack, but from a place of fullness and abundance. Your relationships deepen, your work becomes more fulfilling, and your impact on the world grows exponentially. As you continue to live from this expanded state of consciousness, you may find that your very presence becomes a transformative force in the world. Without effort or intention, you begin to uplift those around you, inspiring them to recognize and claim their own divine nature and creative power. This, dear ones, is the ripple effect of living in alignment with divine truth. As you transform your own life through the power of imagination and faith, you create a field of possibility that touches everyone, everything around you. Imagine the collective impact if each one of us were to fully embrace and express our divine nature. The world as we know it would be transformed overnight. Conflict would give way to cooperation, scarcity to abundance, fear to love. This is not a far-off dream, but a very real possibility. And it begins with you here and now, choosing to live from the consciousness of your divine self, choosing to see the world through the eyes of love, choosing to use your God-gifted power to create a life in a world that reflects the highest truth of who you are. As we draw this discourse to a close, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on what you've heard. Allow these truths to sink deep into your being, to take root in the fertile soil of your consciousness. Remember, the power to manifest your desired life is not something you need to acquire or develop. It is your birthright, your inherent nature as an expression of the divine. Your task is simply to awaken to this truth, to align yourself with it, and to live from it with unwavering faith and joyful expectation. Begin today. Choose one desire, one aspect of your life that you wish to transform. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Feel the reality of it with every fiber of your being. Give thanks for it as if it were already accomplished. Then release it to the divine wisdom that orchestrates all of creation, trusting that it will manifest in the perfect way and at the perfect time. As you do this, pay attention to the subtle shifts in your consciousness. Notice how your perception of yourself and the world around you begins to change. Observe the synchronicities that begin to appear in your life, guiding you towards the fulfillment of your desire. Remember, this is not a one-time exercise, but a new way of being. It requires practice, patience, and persistence. There may be moments of doubt or confusion along the way. When these arise, return to the truth of your divine nature. Reconnect with the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Reaffirm your faith in the unseen reality that is even now taking shape in your life. And above all, be kind and compassionate with yourself as you navigate this journey of awakening and manifestation. Celebrate each step forward, no matter how small it may seem. For each moment of alignment, each act of faith, each expression of gratitude is a powerful affirmation of your true nature and a step towards the full realization of your divine potential. As you continue to practice these principles, you will find that manifesting your desires becomes increasingly effortless. It becomes less about doing and more about being the version of yourself that has already achieved your desire, being in alignment with the diamond flow of creation, being an expression of love, abundance, and joy. Remember, dear ones, you are not separate from God, but an individualized expression of the divine itself. The power to create, to manifest, to transform is not something outside of you, but the very essence of who you are. As you awaken to this truth and learn to live from it, you become a powerful force for good in the world, a beacon of light guiding others towards their own divine nature. Go forth now with the knowledge of your true nature and power. Embrace your divine identity as the creator of your reality. Imagine your desires fulfilled, feel the emotions of achievement, and live from that state of consciousness. Your faith, coupled with divine imagination, is the catalyst for transformation. Remember, manifestation is not about force, but alignment with the divine flow. Cultivate gratitude, release attachment to outcomes, and trust in perfect timing. As you evolve, your desires may shift. Welcome this as part of your spiritual growth. Use this power responsibly, considering how your manifested desires can benefit others. Envision a world where everyone recognizes their divine nature, creating a reality of abundance, love, and joy for all. When facing doubts or challenges, return to these core principles. Be patient and kind with yourself as you deepen your understanding and expand your capacity to receive. Your journey of awakening is ongoing. Each experience is an opportunity to express your divine nature. Find joy and fulfillment within, letting it inform your thoughts and actions. As you align with divine truth, you become a transformative presence, inspiring others to recognize their own power. This ripple effect has the potential to change the world. Start today. Choose one desire, visualize it clearly, feel its reality, and give thanks for its fulfillment. Observe the shifts in your consciousness and the synchronicities that guide you. Practice consistently being compassionate with yourself along the way. Celebrate each step forward, knowing that every moment of alignment affirms your true nature. Remember, you are an expression of the divine. The power to create and transform is your essence. As you live from this truth, you become a beacon of light, guiding others to their own divine nature. Go forth and create the life you desire, knowing that as you do so, you contribute to the elevation of all humanity. Your journey of divine manifestation begins now. Embrace it with joy, faith, and the unshakable knowledge of your true, limitless nature.